Chris Plank of the Sooner Radio Network. Plank talks about Oklahoma joining the SEC and Josh Heupel going to face his alma mater this year, the school that fired him. Nobody gives a better perspective on something like this than Chris Plank. We are pulling him up now. This is Dave Hooker speaking with Chris Plank of Sooner Radio Network about Oklahoma in the SEC.
From SEC Media Days in Dallas, Texas. That still sounds a little bit weird. Brought to you by our friends at Work Trucks and Volunteer Automotive Group. I'll tell you more about them a little bit later. Joined by Chris Plank with the Sooners Radio Network. Chris, you're now in the SEC. What do you think?
This is a whole new world. I mean, it's amazing. We came here, Toby Rowland, the voice of the Sooners, and I do a radio show. Well, he does a show before mine, and we got here at 5 a.m. this morning, right? Just because the excitement level, right? And by 7 a.m., there was already a juice and energy, a buzz unlike anything I think I've felt at one of these events. That can be mundane, that can be a little bit coach speaky, but there's a buzz, there's an excitement, and as we're talking right here, there's news breaking for Oklahoma. They've changed their whole tailgating setup. There's a new walk of champions, if you will. So it's a whole new world for Oklahoma, and obviously it's exciting to be in the SEC. This is big time.
Yeah, well, is it significantly different than, let's say, the Big 12 media days that you've covered, or any other maybe that you've covered?
Yeah, it's bigger. I mean, I was talking. I'll name drop like crazy, so I apologize. But I was talking to guys like Andy Staples and Dennis Dodds who've gone through it on the Big 12 and the SEC side, and they've done it for years. Well, this is my first time because it would always be SEC media days, and to see. I mean, again, it's just the massive amount of interest and people and excitement. It's unparalleled in anything that I've seen. The Big 12 always did a great job, but it was on a little bit of a different scale. It's not a knock. I love it. It's a great league, but for what Oklahoma is and where Oklahoma and Texas should be, need to be, and can be, this is what it's all about.
I don't think there's any question that they're positive additions to the conference. It makes it, in my opinion, the best conference on the field. Of course, the Big Ten would have something to say about that, but how would you judge the interest level of the fan bases of Oklahoma and Texas?
Yeah, they're very passionate. It's kind of wild. I've done sidelines for OU football since 2011, and I moved to Oklahoma in 1993. I've never seen a football game at the University of Texas because the Red River rivalry is always right here in Dallas at a neutral site. But the fans, they show out, they show up, they're loud. Oklahoma, and they're passionate. Oklahoma's a very passionate fan base. If there is one area for both of these teams, Oklahoma and Texas, where I'm like, there's no question of their SEC readiness. It's in their fan base and in the energy that they bring. So to me, it's a conference befitting of the following of both of these teams.
Yeah, Brent Venables year one struggles a little bit. Tennessee fans worried that might call a guy like Josh Heupel. Then year two, it gets better for Venables. Your thoughts on that relationship between Heupel and Oklahoma? It seems frayed from the people I've talked to.
Well, I mean, Josh is a major part of Oklahoma Sooner football history. He was the quarterback on the last national championship team that Oklahoma had in 2000. Josh Heupel is part of the Oklahoma football story forever. Unfortunately, when he was coaching, they had a couple rough seasons, and he got fired. And I listen, looking back, you can debate whether or not he deserved another year, but he had to really scratch and claw for his coaching career. Went to Utah State, went to Missouri, and then ends up doing great things at UCF. And I love to see what he's doing at Tennessee. But you're right, there always seemed to be somewhat of a fractured nature to the relationship between one of the greatest quarterbacks in program history and the current relationship. So it was, to me, incredibly reassuring that I can't remember if it was they might have been Coach Stoops or Roy Williams when they went into the College Football Hall of Fame. There was a picture of Josh Heupel and Brent Venables standing with their arms around each other. And for me, Josh Heupel's the head coach at Tennessee, and he's doing a great job. And I want to see him win every game but one this year. But he is worthy of all the shine and all the excitement from Sooner fans because of what he did. Oklahoma was in a bad spot, right, whenever he came on campus in 1999. And he and Bob Stoops turned this thing around. And it was disappointing, or I don't know if disappointing would be the word, just sad, whenever there was the fracture. But he and Brent have a great relationship. I think Brent Venables is going to do great things. I think Josh Heupel is doing and will do great things. And I think it's really cool to see that bridge getting rebuilt between Josh and Oklahoma, because you can't tell the story of Oklahoma football without Josh Heupel.
Let me ask you this. This is the billion-dollar question that every Tennessee fan wants answered. Other than Venables struggling one day and Josh Heupel doing incredibly well, what would it take, maybe the political part of it, for Oklahoma to be interested in Josh and vice versa? Or is that out of the realm of possibility?
It's interesting, and it's a fair question, especially whenever you think about Oklahoma did struggle in year one under Brent Venables. Won 10 games last year. Now, a lot of people focus on the 3 frustrating losses, 2 of those to Big 12 teams that Oklahoma just didn't typically lose to. But Oklahoma gave a big-time vote of confidence to Brent Venables. They gave him a 2-year extension onto his already, 4-year deal that was left on it. And the culture he's building and the things that he's doing around the program really leads you to believe they're on the right path. Now, if Oklahoma has a situation to where the bottom falls out and they've got to go in another direction, I think that it would be, a direction that they would look. I mean, now, Tennessee can match anything they want, right? Especially whenever you have him doing things as well as he is right now. But for me, I think Brent Venables is going to be the head coach at Oklahoma for a long time. And if something happens, they're going to be hitting that Rocky Top area code. But I think both coaches are going to be in their spots for a really long time.
I think Tennessee should be Brent Venables fans. Great stuff, Chris.
Thanks,
we appreciate it. How do we follow your work?
At Plank Show on Twitter. And listen, we're pumped to be part of the SEC. Can't wait to welcome Tennessee for the first SEC game of the year to Norman. You guys will love it.
You're very welcome into the SEC. I think it's 2 fantastic additions. So stay tuned. More after this Off the Hook Sports. SEC Media Day coverage live in Dallas, Texas, brought to you by WorkTrucksLLC.com and our friends at Volunteer Automotive Group. Stay tuned.
Dave's interview there was brought to you, as he mentioned, by Work Trucks. We are all about trucks that are actually available, trucks that help you maximize your profits by having the right work vehicle now. Time is money. The perfect work vehicle doesn't break down and has all the space to carry what you need. That's what Work Trucks is intent on offering, while other dealerships just can't do it. Contracting is about time. Work Trucks saves you time with less back and forth trips and trucks that pass the highest standards to be put to work. The process is also quick and easy when choosing a vehicle for work trucks. Cargo vans, utility body trucks installed, pickup trucks of all sizes, and anything special like cranes or dump trucks. Work Trucks supplies vehicles to people just like you and get you back on the road tomorrow. No dealership runaround. If you're a contractor, you need to know Work Trucks, and that's a fact. Service industry? Remember Work Trucks. Work Trucks carries the trucks that your business has to have. You need Work Trucks. Clinton Highway in Knoxville and in downtown Birmingham. For the entire inventory, go online to WorkTrucksLLC.com, WorkTrucksLLC.com with an X. Why risk chasing your future and business on a wrong piece of equipment that burns your time? WorkTrucksLLC.com. Work Trucks will also work to make sure you have the perfect vehicle you have to have. They'll even find the perfect truck, outfit, and they'll outfit it, and they'll make sure it fits your needs to a T. Work Trucks with an X, LLC.com. WorkTrucksLLC.com. Proud supporter of the Tennessee Vols.